Hi everyone, welcome back to Hiking Adventures with Trevor. Today I'm just going to do a little short video on my senior hikers tips series of videos, and today I thought I'd look at hiking poles. Now if you're a senior hiker, I highly recommend using hiking poles. Even if you're not a senior hiker, hiking poles make your life so much easier. If you're walking up hills, using poles makes it so much easier. If you're coming down stairs or down hills, hiking poles really help to stabilize you. And that, for a senior hiker, stabilizing yourself as you hike is really, really important. As we get older, one of the things that we lose as a senior hiker is our balance. The older we get, the less balance we have. And by having hiking poles, when you're hiking, you can use them like two extra legs. So you can walk along and you know, as you're walking down a hill, you put one in front of you to stabilize yourself, or, you know, walking across creeks. That's really, hiking poles are really good for that. I was up in Carnarvon Gorge going back, or late last year, and there was so many creek crossings, and if I didn't have my poles, I would have ended up swimming in quite a few of them, because you're walking across these rocks, across creeks, and those poles really help to stabilize me to walk across them without falling in. And as I already mentioned too, climbing up a steep incline, poles, you actually get to use your shoulders a lot more than your legs, so it takes a lot of pressure off your legs, and you can get up those hills so much easier with a pair of hiking poles. I know some people that say, "Oh, hiking poles, you're a bit, you know, soft having hiking poles." Don't listen to any of that rubbish. Even young people should be using hiking poles. It makes your life a lot easier, especially, you know, if you've got 15 kilos or 20 kilos in a backpack on your back and you're climbing up a mountain. Any help you can get to move yourself up there is worth doing. So, and these hiking poles really help to drag yourself up a hill, or like I said, even probably more importantly for a senior, coming down steps or down banks and things, the poles can be used as stabilizers for you to go down. I can't count the amount of times that a pair of hiking poles has saved me from falling over. It's been so beneficial to be using these. So now that I've said that, what type of pole should you buy? Should you buy ones like these? These are actually carbon fiber, and they're extendable, telescopic. They got two lots of telescopic parts to them, and you just put them at the height that's comfortable for you, and then lock in the pole, so to speak. So these are carbon fiber, and I got a pair here of aluminium. So which one should you use? Well, it's really a personal choice. The carbon fiber poles tend to be just slight little bit lighter. That said, a lot of the more modern aluminium poles are really have improved as far as the weight of them go, and you know, these quite reasonably priced Black Diamond ones here, they're quite light. And thing I like about these Black Diamond aluminiums is the hand grips. They've actually made a cork, so if you're a person that tends to get sweaty hands, the cork grips tend to absorb a bit of that sweat, so it helps to, you know, they just feel better in your hand. That said, these carbon fiber ones have got a really interesting shape to the hand grip, and it really is super comfortable to hold all day. So probably when you're out looking at some poles and which ones to go, the best advice I can give you is just pick up a lot of them and see how they feel. If you find one with a hand grip that feels really comfortable to you, because we all got different size hands, what grip feels good to me may not feel good to you. So find a grip that you feel really comfortable with. And like I said, if you tend to be a hand sweaty type person, maybe you want to look at the cork. But once again, that said, this sort of foam compound on these poles, I do have sweaty hands. I find this seems to work really well also. So that's probably the first thing. Find a grip that you like. Make a decision. Do you want a carbon fiber? Do you want an aluminium pole? Do you want a fixed pole that doesn't telescopic, doesn't open up like these or pack down to small size? I personally like the fold down ones because when I can fold them down this small, I can actually put them in my backpack for when I don't need them. If I'm doing a multi-day hike somewhere and I'm walking through a flat area, then I will often fold my poles up and stick them in my backpack, and so I can walk free. And that's the beauty of telescopical. It's also good if you're having to hop on a plane or travel on a plane to your hike. These are small, they can go in your backpack and there won't be a problem with getting them in the plane. With the fixed ones, personally I don't see any advantage in owning fixed poles. Big, tall, lanky things. If you don't want to use them on a section of your hike, then you've got these big poles. You can't put them in your backpack. You just got to hold on to them. And that, to me, I just don't see the reason why you'd want a solid pole as opposed to telescopic. So anyway, all poles too often have adjustable straps. These pull tight. I always, a lot of people don't even use the straps and just do that. I wouldn't do that. Having the strap through your hand really is really helpful. Everybody puts their hand through these straps in different ways. Some people come from the top and do it like that. I come from underneath and then I fold around like so. Sometimes I will hold all of the strap in my hand on the pole like that, so I can't lose them. Personally I don't think one way is better than the other, just whatever's comfortable to you. You might also want these straps to be quite loose, or you might want to tighten that strap up and make it quite tight around your hand. Again, that's a personal choice. So buy yourself a good pair of poles. Do your best not to buy something, go down to Aldi or something and buy them for like $10. They'd be rubbish for sure. Probably Black Diamond are really good value for money. They do make really expensive poles, but their entry-level pole is still a very good pole. I think this is an entry level, and it was quite inexpensive to buy. These ones here, I've always forget how to say this word, Compodel. These cost quite a bit of money, but they are actually, carbon. All carbon poles tend to cost more. I really like these. I just saw them one day. The grip felt really, really good to me, and I just thought it was a really nice pole. It was light. It folded down quite small. Hand grip was good. And yeah, they were quite expensive, but gee, I use these the most when I'm out hiking. I find them really good. So like with all gear, never buy the cheapest gear, out there. Always buy the best gear you can afford to buy, without breaking the bank, of course, So, it's all to do, especially with poles. Poles are going to keep you safe. They're going to stop you and make you more stable along the trail. You don't want a cheap, nasty pair. You want ones that are going to last for ages, years and years, and are really comfortable and light. And so, keep that in mind, because if you get something too heavy, it might feel all right in the shop, but 10 k's into a hike and they feel like you're carrying dumbbells, so light is good in a sense. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you are a senior hiker, highly recommend go out and buy yourself some trekking poles. Don't think about it. Get in your car now, drive to the hiking store and buy yourself some poles. you need to have them on the trail with you. Even if you're doing a local little flat hiking trail around your local suburb, it's it doesn't hurt to have that extra stability while you're walking, and especially as you get older. So I hope that's been helpful to you. This is Trevor from Hiking Adventures with Trevor. We'll see you out in the trails. Be happy, stay safe. See you soon. Bye.